Hi everyone, my name is Laura Tilt. I'm a registered dietitian and health writer, and I'm here today with Simprove to share 5 ways you can take care of your gut. So my first piece of advice is to listen to your gut, because it will tell you when it's not happy. Now, whilst experiencing symptoms like bloating and heartburn on an occasional basis is normal and nothing to worry about, experiencing ongoing symptoms is a sign that your gut isn't happy. Now, the same goes for your poo. If you're pooing much more than normal or much less than normal, it's a sign that something needs to be checked out. Your first port of call should always be your GP or doctor. I'd recommend taking a symptom diary with you so you can explain what's going on, and your GP can then run some simple tests before discussing next steps with you. So my second piece of advice is to eat lots of fibre. Now, fibre is a type of carbohydrate that's found in foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds and pulses, that's beans and lentils. Now, unlike other types of carbohydrate, we don't actually possess the enzymes to break fibre down, and this means it moves through our gut relatively undigested and lands in our large intestine. Now, this does 2 things. Firstly, it moves waste through your gut, helping to prevent constipation. And secondly, when fibre lands in your large intestine, it feeds the microbes that live there. That's right, the microbes in your large intestine can actually feed on fibre, and this helps them to thrive, it keeps them well fed and happy. In addition, when your microbes consume fibre, they produce compounds known as short-chain fatty acids. Now, these are compounds which also help to keep the lining of your gut healthy. So my third piece of advice is to include as many different plant foods in your diet as possible. We're talking fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices and pulses. Now, as well as most of these foods containing fibre, plant foods contain compounds known as polyphenols. Now, these are compounds that help to keep the plant healthy, but when we eat them, they actually feed the beneficial microbes in our gut and may even help to prevent the growth of less helpful microbes. Now, we've still got lots to learn about how plant foods affect gut health, but some research shows that people who eat about 30 different types of plant foods a week have a more diverse microbiome than those that eat 10 or fewer. Now, this is a bit of a challenge because most of us tend to be creatures of habit when it comes to our diet, but think about adding more variety. So instead of always eating the same fruits on your breakfast, have something different. Use different grains in your cooking, so rather than always having pasta, try rice or quinoa, or perhaps go for an alternative grain like teff. And instead of choosing the same nuts all the time, choose a bag of mixed nuts and seeds, and also make use of herbs and spices as well. To help you with this, we've included a Get Your 30 Plant Challenge with this video. So my fourth piece of advice is to find exercise that you love and which makes you feel good. Now, most of us know that exercise is super important for our heart health and also our mental well-being and our bodies as a whole. And that's also true for gut health. Exercise is super important for that too. So exercise does a few things. It helps to prevent constipation, and it also seems to stimulate the growth of beneficial microbes in your large intestine. So what type of exercise counts? Well, all exercise does, but very intense exercise can actually be quite tough on your gut. So things like jogging, walking, cycling and dancing are all brilliant choices. And if you don't know where to start, simply grab your trainers, head to the great outdoors and put on a favourite podcast. So my last and final tip is to breathe deeply. Now, we all experience stress on a daily basis, but over a long period, having lots of stress in your life can actually upset your gut health. So one way to rebalance your stress levels is to practice deep breathing. Now, you might have noticed that when you experience stress, your breathing tends to get quite short and shallow, and it increases, it's quite rapid. Now, this rapid breathing gets picked up by something called your vagus nerve. Now, this is a long nerve that runs from your brain into your gut, and it's monitoring your breathing. And when it senses that it's short and sharp, it tells your body that it should be in fight or flight mode. Now, one way to counteract this is to do a deep breathing practice. So by increasing your inhale and exhale and breathing into your belly, you can actually signal to your vagus nerve that it's okay to relax. Now, there's lots of breathing practices out there, but simply inhaling for a count of 5 and exhaling for a count of 5 is a very simple place to start. Now, when you're inhaling, imagining that you're breathing into a balloon in your belly, and when you're exhaling, imagining that you're deflating that balloon. A few minutes of this type of breathing is enough to help you feel calm and relaxed. So why not give it a try next time you feel overwhelmed? So that's the end of my tips on how to take care of your gut. I really hope they've been helpful, and I'm looking forward to hearing how you get on with them.